All right, next up in the Construction Manager app, we're going to look at jumping into the Spaces view screen. So it's where we look at a specific space, so a kitchen, a living area, etc., and then add the items to that. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So the screen that we're working on is going to be when you click Manage here. Pretty awesome at the moment. But what we're trying to replicate now is this. So inside of a space, for example, kitchen, we're going to have all these items. And in each item, we're going to be able to add pictures and URLs, etc., and comments. So let's get started. Okay, so inside of here, we are going to, let's just do the kitchen to start. So we're going to jump into kitchen. So where is this page? Let's find it. So it's inside of Project Spaces. It's inside of Show, I believe. So if we do what we've been doing, and we're going to wrap all of this in a flex column, and that's going to do nothing, but just sets us up for success. And let me just make sure that we are here. Tourist, perfect. All right, so let's see. Okay, so edit, again, probably not going to have this. Let's fix this back button. This is going to be back to project. All right, so we're not going to say back to Project Spaces. We're going to go back to project here. So we'll just delete this, edit this space. Probably not going to have that, I reckon. Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of it. We don't need that. So let's have a look. Back to project. So back to project is going to be project path. And then in here, it's going to be project space. Let's see if that might not work, because that's going to probably give us the ID of the space. I'm going to just want them just to be safe. I'm going to say project ID here. Okay. Still going to be 2 because these are sneaky. But if we have a look at this one, that's 2. If we leave it how I had it, it's 3. So that's not right. So we do need to do my change there. Make sure we pass in the project ID to the right project. All right. So now back to project takes us back here. Awesome. Okay. I should have refreshed the page first. There we go. Sweet as. All right. So now main dwelling. So what does this look like? So what we're going to do here is let's set up the same kind of heading piece here, and let's grab that first. So inside of that is a sub project, and it has the project view, which is this. And now the project space, let's use this partial here. All right, and we're going to say project space, and that's going to link to the project. That's fine, and it's never going to be a master, but what we're going to do here, I'm going to just comment that out for now. Man, that's a weird looking comment. Sorry, project space dot project. Cool, kitchen. Now, I want to actually write that it's the main dwelling for this address, right? So let's uncomment this. Whoa, that is bizarre. All right, so it doesn't know how to do comments very well in here, which is bizarre. Leave me alone. There we go. So the title that we're looking for is something like, I'm just going to do that for now, but we want to, so this will be project space dot project. So we're gonna link back to the main dwelling. So when we're in kitchen, we're gonna link back to main dwelling. So we don't actually need this button here. So we can kill that. We don't need that. That's gone. All right. Now this will read in here. We're gonna have project space dot project dot title. So that'll say main dwelling. Yep. And then what I want to do here is I want to say project space dot project dot parent project dot title, because that's going to say main dwelling of 33 Halls Road, Gerrara. So what we could probably do here is make this a bit nicer. I'm gonna split this, chuck it here. Okay, and then this is parent project. Now we should have 2. So you can see this takes us to main dwelling down the bottom. You probably can't see it's tiny project 2, and that's project 1. So that'll take us to Halls Road. That will take us to the main dwelling. And then if we go into kitchen, main dwelling. Okay. So what I want to do here is just then literally just have a little guy here. Chuck him in. All right. And let's see what that looks like. Jump into the kitchen, main dwelling for 33 Halls Road. Okay, so that looks all right. I wonder, we could probably do something a bit better there, but that works for now. I wonder how, I mean, maybe even just a hyphen will do better, look better. Or we could even swap these around. That might even read better again. Yeah, anyway, I could spend all day on that, okay? And that's kind of like a little breadcrumb now. Sweet, so inside the kitchen, once we're in the kitchen, what are we gonna do here? Now we're gonna list these items, okay? So we're gonna have a table, and each item is a full row like this. So it's like a table, but we don't really wanna have a table because it's gonna be hard to do comments and things like that. We almost wanna itemize these things a bit better. So I wonder, like, do we have sections here? Because we need fixtures, fittings, and fixture fittings and equipment. That's like one thing. And then we have finishes. Now, this is a space. So we have finishes and we have fittings. Just trying to think on how we can differentiate this, because how have they done wet areas? They don't, there's kitchen, floor, splashback tile. So there's kind of like a category here, right? I wonder if we should, yeah, I'm just trying to think on how we can model this properly. So I think we need some sort of category. It'll be an item category. So if we have a look at this project item, and yeah, so let's do that. Let's add in a category here because we will need this. All right, so in order to support finishes, interior finishes, as well as fittings, we're going to need to introduce a category because we're inside of a space, and then the item will have a category of either fitting or fixture or a finish. Okay, so let's go and set up that model. So the first things first, we're very familiar with this now, is if we open up our guy here and we clear this up, we go Rails G model, and this is going to be a category. I mean, let's even call it, should we do an item category? Let's just do a category model that's more flexible. Okay, so let's just jump in here. Now let's set up our migration. So this is gonna have a t.string. It's gonna be title, null, false. T.string, I'm gonna give it a key, null, false as well. So now we can have, so for instance, it'll be interior, let's have a look at this. It could be interior finish. We'll just actually call it finish because it can be external as well. So it'll be finish / color or a fitting. So that's the title and the key. And then I want to have here a t.string is type, null, false as well. So I want to create a category, and this will be a category for project item, so that different types of things can have different categories. So that's fine. Now we can run that migration, Rails DB migrate, sweet as. Now we can hit into our seeds, and we're going to go categories. All right, so title is going to be finish, and this is not type task, this is a project item. And then this one is, let's do the naming nicely. So it's fixture, fitting, and equipment. So it's fixtures, right? And then internal finishes, and so it's finishes and colors. I think that makes sense. I'm not a builder, but I feel like that's right. So now here we're gonna go whoa. All right. Okay, that should do it. Let's seed that. Sweet, let's check it out in the DB, make sure we need to just refresh that. Category, all right, what happened here? What, you didn't tell me. Oh, sorry, not DB migrate, DB seed. There we go, there we go. So we have now categories, finishes, fixtures, project items, all right? So what do we want to do here? So we want to create little sections here, like little subheadings. So let's look at what the designs, do they have any sort of, not really. There's a big lag there on the old B0. Let's see here, add section headings. All right, let that do its thing. So we've done our category seed now. So if we go into our project space, we've got this little guy here, render the project space. Okay. Now what we want to do here is we basically want to have, I'm going to just do it like this for now. So how can we do this? We can go, so let's get our categories. So when we show, let's do this in the controller just so it's a little bit tidier. So we're inside of a project space. So inside the show route, I just want to also just do here, categories is equal to category dot where type is equal to project item. All right. Now we should have access to this. So we can say categories dot each do category. And this is an end here. Now all I want to do for now is just render out H1, and I just want to render out this category title. Yep, that's right. Sweet, let's just see if that's working. Nope, categories.each do. So are we in the show route? Let me just restart the server. Project item is not a subclass, invalid single table inheritance. I may have made a mistake with this migration, the type. Invalid single table inheritance. Project item is not a subclass of category. I think it's the naming that I've given it here, unfortunately. I guess we can just change it to category type. So let's roll back that migration. Let's just change this, probably protected. So this is going to be category type. And then in here, we're going to have category type. All right, let's Rails DB migrate and Rails DB seed. Yep. All right, now let's jump back in here. Rails S. Okay, that's fine. Where are you? Category, it's category type. There we go. Okay, yep. So that was just that type naming issue, which is fine. Now we've got fixtures and finishes and colors, and fixtures, fittings, and equipment. All right. So these are basically little sections here. So we can now go inside of this, and inside of a project space, I think we should probably create a partial which contains the logic for looping through each one of those things. So what we'll do is inside project spaces, we'll go project category group .html.erb. All right. And then inside of that, so we're just going to render. I'm going to grab that, put that in there. And then I'm going to say render partial project spaces / category group. And then we want to pass in category. Let's see what happens here. Nothing. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. And then we also have access to the project space. So if I can just put here project space .title, just make sure everything's available to us. Yep. Perfect. So we need to really see what this is going to look like. Let's see what V0 came up. Ah, awesome. Nothing. Love it. How does this look now? So we got a kitchen, and we want so we can probably just group these as now, like we need like a titles area. It's a little bit hard in these boxes. So let's try do this. We'll grab this guy, chuck him in there, get rid of him, get rid of that. Right. Yep, that'll do. Let's drop this down though and go to just XL now. So I think I've decided on what we can do here for this, make this looking nice. That made no sense at all. So I think I've decided what we can do here to style this to make it look pretty good. So we need to find this here, rounded. So we want rounded corners, but we want to do them only on the top. So let's look for rounded border radius. We want rounded top only. So we can only do the top. All right, let's have a look at that. That doesn't look like it did it. Rounded T, border top left. Yeah, that's what we want. Border rounded top, rounded T large. That's what we want. We also want a margin top here of 4. Doesn't look like it's applying it there for us. I don't know why that is. That's super weird. Okay, Tailwind, rounded T, rounded T XL. That's what it's meant to be. Maybe we have to do, anyway. So what I want to do here now is inside of this category group, let's add a second piece here, and I just want to see what that does. So that's fine. What I want to go here though is grab the BG and apply it to this one only. That's what we're looking for. And then on the top here, we want to go border T. It's actually not there, it's on border B. Yep, so that's going to give us our header. And then in here, we can have the rest of our things. I think that's going to look best. Probably not going to have that in there. So we want to go rounded. And the first one, what we want to do is with this one, we need to have BGY. I should move this so that I can see this better. Can everyone still see that? I'm going to shrink this a bit, just make it easier to see. So this one won't, on the first one we won't have a margin top, so I'll just show you what I'm trying to achieve here. So if we grab that, this one will have nothing, so we kind of end up with something like this. And then this first one will have border, and then border T none. No, that's not how it works. So we only want border top, border bottom. Just trying to figure out how we can do these sections. It might even actually realistically just be better if we just do this and take this out of the box completely. Margin top 8, we go text 2XL. I think that's probably what we're gonna have to do there. So, all right, so what I wanna do as well is inside of the show here, we're passing in the locals of category here. I also wanna be explicit and actually pass in the project space, just so it's easier for us to manage these and they're not just magic. So, okay, I just need to add that instance there. Sweet, finishes, fixtures. So I'm gonna look at these kind of things. I think that's kind of going for this kind of style here, just with the little header on top. I think that works well when you've got little boxes. All right, so we'll roll with that. This guy's still struggling. Okay, so now instead of this here, we're gonna have now the item itself. So kitchen mixer, quantity, supplier, etc. Now, what I've noticed here too is we've got slightly different things here. So we've got a code, material, finish, color. So how does that fit in here? So we still have a supplier, quantity unsure here. That could be just be in square meters or meterage required. Finish would be there. There's finish. So that's good. Product description is probably the material here. Product code, they have it over here. Product code, image, URL, comments. So it's remarks is similar. Color, I guess color could be similar to this, like finish or color. So those are two different things, finish and color. So let's just see how we can fit these in together now. So let's have a look at our category group. So now this is going to be a table. So we can grab this table from our project, our master project, and we're gonna shove that. Actually, no, we're not. It's not a table. We're going to run each one of these things as their own item, right? So we're going to have, let's just create the loop now. So we're going to say project space dot items dot each do. Okay, so we're going to loop through these. So we haven't set up that alias yet. It has many project items. Let's just run with that for now. All right, and then we're gonna have project item.title. All right, so we've got kitchen mixer. Now, inside of this, we need to have a few different values. So kitchen mixer, why are you there twice? Okay, so we need to make sure that we're filtering this by the category ID. So we need to add, we need to add a migration here, because at the moment we're getting all the items and we're just looping through them multiple times. For project item, we need to have a category ID, okay? So let's add that quickly. So we're just gonna go here, we're gonna go Rails, G migration, add category to project items. All right, now let's just jump into that migration. We're gonna go add column to project item category ID. You can actually go add reference. Can be null because we have some items in there. All right, so let's save that, run that. Do we need to do anything else? I don't think so. Okay, we've got a Rails S here again. All right, so what we need to do now is go through here. Now we need to go where category ID is equal to the category. I mean, we can even just go where category is category. Now we have to fix the model so that Rails knows what's going on. So we're going to say project item belongs to category, and it is optional true because we don't, it's realistically it's not optional, so I'm not going to make that optional. So, now let's jump in here. So what you can see is we have nothing now, but you can see what's happening is project items where we're fetching these ones, yeah? Where ID is 1, ID is 2. Sweet, so that's giving us what we need there. Now we need to assign these things. So let's go into this one. So we've got a project item. I'm just gonna fix it in the DB. And now this is a fixture. So what is the ID for fixture? 2. So let's just set that on there. Okay, there we go. Now the kitchen mixer sits under there. Awesome. We also we'll need to have a little state here. So similar to when we have this thing, we're gonna have to have add item.